next to nothing about this project that we're about to talk about, which is kind of refreshing because I almost kind of know about most everything that's coming up. So when something comes across my plate, it's like, oh, what is this?
Right, right.
So it's really exciting. So I'm looking forward to the conversation tonight.
All right. So we got Carlos and JP from the realm. How's it going,
Hello, man.
guys?
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
guys? How's everything? Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
thanks,
It's
coming
our
guys.
on.
pleasure. Oh boy. So let's see what's we got people in the chat. Hey guys, how's it going? So we like to start off the show by talking about things that we've recently picked up or something like that. You're our guest, so do you have anything by chance that you picked up recently or?
Carlos always has stuff.
No, he's lying. I think my last pickup was I think like some Joy Toy Warhammer figures.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm starting like collecting Joy Toy Warhammer action figures, and that's kind of like a crack, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Like it is so bad. I was a 112 scale collector. And I try to go up to 1/6, but space was too limited. So I get rid of all my 1/6 and I went back to 112, right? Everything. And man, like Joy Toy Warhammer figures, just look at that.
yeah, I was about to say I could see them.
Listen, it's taking over my whole collection, all my shelves. It's insane. I never thought I would be such a fan of Warhammer, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Warhammer the game itself, but
Oh, you like the
even
game?
that, yeah.
Wow. You
I
play
have all
with the
the little
miniatures.
minis.
You
Yeah,
play with
I
them?
did. I did for a
Wow.
little bit, but yeah,
That's another level. That's another level.
you're right. Yeah, it's a
That
little bit out of my range now.
so I think my last one, just let me reach out to what I got.
I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about those figures too.
The
Like,
Joy Toy
Yeah.
figures are
They
incredible.
look amazing. When I go to Carlos' house, I just gawk at them and stuff, but it's like it's just another slippery slope. I just can't.
So
ascend.
my most recent one was the Wolf Guard. Um,
Let me zoom in here. Oh wow, jeez, a whiz.
so I mean, if you know about Warhammer, you know like Space Wolves are kind of like the Vikings of the Warhammer,
Yep.
and these guys are like my favorites. This was the last one I pick up, but I'm having a bunch coming also. So yeah, it is becoming an addiction,
Yeah.
to
I
be
guess for a
honest.
lot of people.
yeah,
Yeah, it is insane. I mean, listen, it is crazy how like I never put attention to Warhammer, like the game itself, and I've been reading and trying to catch up with Warhammer stuff, and it's like almost 40 years of lore.
Yeah. And it's all metal, like hardcore, like nonstop. Like it's outrageous.
It
I
is it
mean,
is insane. It is insane. I'm waiting right now for a dreadnought that I order. I mean, for the ones who don't know what is dreadnought is like this big, insane machine where, like the regular Space Marine, they almost die in battle, and they're like no arms, no legs, no nothing, and they still serve till they die, right? So they put them in this insane mecha full of weapons and this like amniotic fluid inside like a baby, so they can feel, they can see, they can do anything, and they just wake them. They're like in one thing called the sarcophagus, and they just wake them up for war. That's it, and they put them in put them to sleep
Insane.
again.
That's
I love
awesome.
that shit.
Yeah, dude. And for Francis, D amazing pics of his pickups do not help. And Warhammer's converted a lot of people. My wallet won't survive.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I was talking to D. Actually, we're friends, and we were talking at LegionsCon. And actually, we were talking at MegaCon. I was at MegaCon like a few weeks ago in Orlando, and as soon we saw each other, we hug each other, and we start talking about Warhammer, like right away. Right away. He doesn't help me, and I don't help him, so it's insane.
Influence each other, huh?
Yeah.
But
well, and see, zombies an enabler for me too.
Zombies.
Oh well,
he's like, zombies. Hey, you said you wanted this, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, it would be nice if I ever come across it. And he's like, well, I came across it. Here you go. And it's just like, wow, this is awesome.
Enablers are us.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
no,
but you're not collecting any more Warhammer like miniatures or anything like that?
No, not in a long time. I know I still have some, but I
we froze a little bit.
Don't play with them a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we back?
Okay.
Yeah, no, Carlos, you froze a little bit. That's all.
I was me, right? It was me, but I saw everybody frozen. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. On my end, I just see you freezing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
glitchy.
Maybe it was me. It was a Warhammer thing.
My latest pickup is the Doc Knock 2.0.
Oh.
From Mezco. This thing is sick. It was a
really so bad.
Big pain in the ass to get these straps hooked onto these little belt clips.
Yeah.
I developed arthritis for a short period of time. Just trying to fucking put those things in there. But what I love about this figure in particular is the fact that this is actually a mask. I didn't know that. He has like a gray, like a grayscale kind of head with red eyes, but then he has this, which is, there's two versions. There's masks. They basically slip over the head. So it's slightly larger. That's why you kind of see that the noggin is a little bigger than normal, but that's because it's a mask. So it's ingenious the way they designed this character. I love him. I love his accessories, all the stuff it comes with. You know, Mezco crushes it. They do really good stuff, and I want to say, I think they kick ass more with their in-house IP stuff than with like licensed product. You know, there's some stuff they nail, like their Doctor Doom was amazing. I have that one, and you know, their Popeye is probably one of their best. But
Popeye is my favorite action figure ever.
Yeah, he's cool.
They killed it.
He's an awesome.
I pick up this girl too this weekend.
Is that the McFarlane one?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is the McFarlane one. Power Girl.
Very nice.
Power Girl.
Man, McFarlane is killing it with the wire case.
Oh wow, that's wired. It looked like it was just plastic for a second.
No, it's wired. Like
no,
Christopher Reeve Superman.
And he's killing it with that.
That's good. I didn't know he.
Yep.
Man, it's been a while since I've had a McFarlane for either. So.
Yeah, he's learning. Now, I have a love-hate thing with McFarlane. Like, I own two figures too. And it's crazy because in the 2000s, when McFarlane toys came out, I would buy every single fucking thing because they revolutionized the toy industry, right? But it's just now the figures, they're not in scale with every other Marvel Legends or DC figures that are out there. And then they have this really weird articulation system. I have the Barbarian Batman. That's like really cool. He looks like a caveman kind of.
Yeah.
I have him, and then I have the Lobo with a space hog. those are the only two McFarlane DC figures that I own. I
Yeah.
really haven't seen anything else that would really blow me away or like make me want to buy it. Like I was thinking about getting the classic Dark Side, but then when I started seeing people's in-hand reviews, it had all sorts of QC issues and stuff, and I was like, I think the best Dark Side to date is the DC Universe Classics, the one that the Four
DC
Horsemen
Classics.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. He's just the best Dark Side that they've done so far, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like McFarlane, I think there's a reason why they come out so frequently and they're so inexpensive is because they're not the best. They're cool enough to get the sales, but they're not, they're not revolutionary. They're not doing anything special. Like they're definitely not better than Marvel Legends. I can tell you that.
I have a bunch of the McFarlane Fortnite figures just because I mean I don't play Fortnite or anything, but the designs were just too cool just to pass up. So
yeah, those were cool.
I have a bunch of those. Well, I say a bunch. It's probably more like a handful. I'm looking at them right now. But yeah, even some of those, like there was one that was like a rabbit, and he had the ears that were pointed down, but they were on swivels too. But the body was just that soft, like I don't know. There was nothing to it, and it's like that's going to dry rot in a few years. I just know it's because it's just an overlay over like a bare skeletal articulated form, and I was just like, yeah, if that's the way you're going to move forward, like I'm not getting them no more.
Yeah, no, it's really hit or miss. You know, you look at the Warhammer stuff; it's really cool. I actually came across some of those, like I don't know what they call them, the ones that are unpainted that you could paint, that they're gray. I came across some of the Warhammers the other day at Target, and those look
artist
cool.
proof.
The artist proof ones, yeah. And they're just like they're oversaturating the market with DC product. I think it's like every 2 weeks you get like another wave of figures. It's insane. For DC fans, I feel sorry for them because it's just so much product. How do you catch up, you know? Imagine if Super 7 was like releasing a wave of Thundercats every month.
I'd be doomed.
How'd you catch up?
That's kind of why I stopped buying a lot of the Hasbro stuff. Was they priced me out. There was every month something was coming out, and I just couldn't keep up with it. So I just almost cold turkey. Like every now and then I'll see one, a particular character or it's just a good solid figure, and I can't pass it up. So I'll pick it up. But by and large, I quit even with Spider-Man, and he's like my main guy. I was like, yeah.
So you got the $50 Spider-Man, right?
Did you get the maximum Spider-Man? He pre-sold out everywhere. And nope, I'm not getting it.
And like, Spidey's my ride or die hero, and I didn't do it. I'm like, nope, sorry. This is my line in the sand. You're crossing it, and I'm not doing it.
It is insane the amount of Spider-Man figure. Look, Jorge has all the Spider-Mans on the back, right?
Well, these are the animated Spider-Mans. I want to say I have doubles of almost everybody, but the main thing here is because Spider-Man is like super near and dear to me, but at the same time, I love the card pack because I remember when we had these in the 90s, that's how the art was. So it's got that real nostalgic vibe. I love all the retro card. Like I have the Fantastic Four. The only ones I haven't picked up yet are like the Iron Man animated ones, but and then the Secret Wars, like those were amazing. But I'm just chilling out because they're just, eventually I think they'll pop up at Ollie's for clearance. So I just gotta like hold my breath and hope for the best because it's just
Spider-Man never ends in Ross or Alice or anything, man.
I could tell you which wave is gonna end up at Ollie's. The one that Hasbro just revealed.
Which one?
Ones.
Oh,
the Game Reverse. There's like 10 Spider-Mans in that fucking wave.
Yeah.
And then that Venom looks weird, man. His legs are a little too long.
$60.
They put like they finally
60.
did the drool. It's a removable accessory, like the clear drool. And
Yeah.
and that's one thing that Hasbro's always going to be known for. It's like, okay, here's this Spider-Man, but a year from now you're going to get that Spider-Man with toe joints and with an alternate head, and they always give you like a little one or two pieces that updates
To make it a new figure.
So you're like, oh, I gotta get that one, it's
Then pinless.
yeah, because they know we're like, you got them Spider-Man figures, man. It's like, nah.
No, like the Venom that I see to is your left there.
Oh, the Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, I still have not found that one. So
And what's
Really?
crazy is this one, I ordered the multi-pack just for this one, the Amazon one, because I love the mid-transformation Eddie Brock head, and I love the overall look of him. And I thought this was the definitive Venom. But then when this one came out, I'm like, okay, slightly different head, but they're like, oh no, dude, this one has the mid-abdomen ball joint.
It's a ball joint.
So it's like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? So it's like, now I got to get this one because this one is actually better than this one. And I love Venom, so I always try to get like the most updated one. But I think, honestly, they've kind of run their course with Venom. I think that the next thing they need to do, like if they were to do a Maximum Venom, for example, is they should do an Eddie Brock, in like civvies, and have all this symbiote shit that you can attach to it and turn him into Venom. Because they've never done a proper Eddie Brock. They've always done Brock's head as an alternate head for Venom, but they've never done Brock in his blue jeans and sneakers and, maybe with some dumbbells and shit like that. I designed a 2-pack, I was like, maybe 3 years ago. I sent it to Jesse Falcon that works at Disney. He's the one that kind of green lights all the Marvel stuff. And I'm like, dude, why don't you guys ever do like a 2-pack where you have Brock and Venom, you have Peter and Spider-Man, and you have all these parts that you can interchange within one another, And they did the Banner Hulk 2-pack. So I was like, oh, they'll probably
with the
do
gray
Brock.
Hulk.
Yeah, but then they need to do a green Hulk, and then now they're doing the Maximum. So, they're kind of all over the place. But
Well, the maximum, I believe it was a leak, and
Hulk is next.
So far, Hulk is next, and next is gonna be Deadpool.
But Deadpool, like, what are they gonna do with Deadpool though? Like,
Deadpool, and I believe somebody mentioned Daredevil or something like that.
I think Deadpool, what they could do is they could give you Headpool, Dogpool, effects, blood spatter. I don't know if Hasbro will do blood spatter, but I would prefer like a Cap or like an Iron Man. Hulk is gonna definitely be cool. What I heard is like he's gonna have like the clapping hands and like an effect, like a smoke effect or something, where when he does the
so they may need them to change the figure is going to be new because they need to change the articulation in order to do that.
Yeah, they need to.
Because Hulk can go back, but he can't do the Hulk smash action.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's gonna have to have new articulation. Right now, I think the standard in Hulk figures are the Marvel Select, like the green and red Hulk.
I have the two of them. The Immortal Hulk and the Red Hulk.
Right, Immortal. Those are amazing. It's crazy how much the Immortal Hulk is going for. It's like $200 on eBay.
It's expensive?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
It's insane, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I guess now with Diamond going away, they might not re-released them. So people are like, "Oh shit, I want to get that Hulk." You know?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I don't know what happened to Dustin. He just disappeared.
Blip. He blipped. Thanos went like this.
So, Zombie, what do you collect, man? Like, what's your go-to?
Currently it's Mythic Legions, which
Okay.
that was going to be my. I didn't pick him up, but I was fortunate
Oh,
enough
yeah.
to be.
Oh, that one is coming my way right now.
Yeah,
Did you
so this is
pre-order
my
him,
50th
Carlos?
Harvester.
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
Yeah,
I
that guy's
pre-ordered that one.
Oh, yeah. I went all in on this wave, so I was lucky enough to be one of the first to actually get it. I've just been really bad about going through and opening them.
Oh,
I haven't even opened him yet, so
man.
I've been just kind of eyeballing them one at a time. Open up the shipper and just like, ooh, I need to open these, and then
You're
something
going for the dragon.
I'm hoping to. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to afford that thing because I mean I do
I
have
was
I've got a
talking.
lot
I was,
of the Mythic Legions here. So. Oh, did we freeze?
well, I was talking to some people, and so far, no, you're good. I think
Yeah, there's like a delay, Carlos, on your side.
we're
Yeah,
good.
now
We're back.
it kind of glitches.
Yeah, it's glitching.
Yeah, there's like a delay, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, it's a glitching. No, yeah, I mean,
I
I
think
was
I think there's an alligator chewing on your fiber optic cable.
maybe. I was talking
Dustin,
actually.
what happened? You disappeared.
Yeah.
My earbuds went out,
Oh,
and
Oh.
now I can't hear anything.
So yeah, I was talking to somebody today actually talking about that, and apparently supposedly he's gonna come with the folded wings by default. That's gonna be the $550 package with the regular neck. And then you're gonna have some stretch goals that it may include maybe like a couple of like messed up like knights and stuff like that. And then the expansion pack, which you may need to pay extra for that, is gonna be the open wings, the neck, extended neck, and the fire effect.
yeah, that's gonna be. I'm wondering how much that expansion pack's gonna be, though. Like,
Man,
you think $50?
I'm
$100?
telling you right now, if it's so far, I'm so sad because I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford that. I mean, I don't want to have just like the folded wing ones. And then if that's gonna cost me maybe like picture, let's put it like this, maybe like $200 more plus shipping. We don't know yet how much is gonna be the shipping and the taxes on that. So we're talking about maybe like, I don't know, $900
Jesus. Well,
for the complete package.
I hope
I
not.
paid $850 for my cat slayer. But I
You
paid
paid
it
how much
over-
for Cat Slayer?
like when all is said and done, like
800.
$550.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it was $650, but I paid interest because I did it through a firm,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I think it was like close to 800 something. I mean, there'll never be another thing like this. This thing's
No.
beautiful, dude.
Well, I just spent $700 on a Warhammer Imperial Knight.
So it's like
It's all perspective. What's your real love? Like let's break it down. Zombies got a dragon. You know, I'm all about Cat Slayer, so
like,
I have a Imperial Knight Paladin. You know,
yeah.
Jorge is gonna get, I don't know
I like for me,
what.
like I was telling you guys earlier, Thundercats is my thing. Like, absolutely love the IP. I think it's been a long time coming for them to get their time in the limelight. And Super 7's done really good. They've gone the deep cuts. They've done a lot of awesome stuff. I wish the QC was a little better, but they got my money because they're the only ones really doing stuff aside from, of course, Mondo, which did that incredible Lionel, and I can't wait to see the Mumra, which is probably going up for pre-order in the next couple weeks. But yeah, man, it's just like my thing. I guess right now would be Thundercats, and I've been getting like a lot of the Mondo pieces, like the Masters of the Universe. I got the Scare Glow.
Yeah.
That's a whole other level. I feel like I graduated because when I started collecting back in the day, I was collecting 3 3/4 Power of the Force Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't even display Star Wars because, like, I feel like Hasbro's lost the love they had for the IP. They just keep doing all this Disney Plus garbage, and
Star Wars is dead right now, man.
it's super dead, man. It's so sad though because that's what that was my gateway to being a toy collector. It was Star Wars,
Yep.
But I don't have anything in my display that's Star Wars. Everything back here is like Mythic Legions, like Four Horsemen stuff, Mezcos, Marvel Legends, Super 7. I don't have any Hasbro stuff. I think I have I have a Boba Fett. That's about it right here. A Black Series Boba Fett Deluxe. But yeah, man, my next, like after Thundercats, my biggest thing is monsters, man. Like what I do is right now, because I don't have a lot of space, is every Halloween. So let's say around middle September, we start decorating for Halloween. And what I do is I bring out all my NECA stuff.
Yeah.
So I have everything, all the Freddies, all the Universal monsters, all that good stuff. And I bring it out and I display it. But I wish I could display it all year long, But that's I would say that's like my second favorite thing is monsters.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Carlos and I decided to make monsters, because there's not a lot of stuff out there that's in that world if it's not tied to an IP, So like NECA's done an amazing job doing their Universal monsters and doing like the cult classics and stuff like that. But there's just hasn't been a lot of certain characters in films that have been represented in action figure form.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so much more there to play with. And it just kind of came about. Like I was talking to Carlos a few years back and I was telling him about wanting to make a toy line, and I was just doing like these little kind of super deformed monsters, because my buddy had told me, hey man, if you're going to produce your own toys, to keep them like cheap, you need to go and make like these super deformed figures and minimal articulation and this and that. So I designed a bunch of stuff, and when I showed it to Carlos, he's like, this is cool, man, but it's not my jam.
He was showing me this.
No.
And I was like, I don't like that.
Like, actually, let me see. I wonder if I have.
Remember? I mean, they were cool. Listen, Jorge is super talented, but I'm kind of like the type of guy that I'm like, okay, dude, let's do this. And if we're going to do it, like, let's go all in or we die, like, just in the attempt. Like it's let's go for it. Let's go for the big prize. So when I saw all his designs, I was like, damn, this is so cool. I would love to see this more detailed, more realistic, more like articulation there. And I was like, man, I love this because I love photography, like toy photography. That's my passion, right? Yeah. And I'm like, man, I would love to see this like in a different way. And Jorge and I actually told Jorge, I was like, listen, what do you collect? And he's like, well, by that time Jorge was collecting this. What's the name? The Jorge, the wolf guy.
Oh yeah, Veteran Williams.
Baron Williams and all those stuff from, like, and I was like, man, that's super detailed, super articulation. I mean, realistic, savage. Let's do something like this. And I know you can do it. And man, when he started pulling his stuff, I was like, come on, dude. See? That's it right there. So,
I could show you guys. I actually found the original concept art for one of the characters that I showed Carlos.
You have the monster, right? The Lagoon monster.
Yeah.
Am I good to display it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Awesome.
Right there. I remember.
So this was the direction where I started, right? Where it was like more chibi, super deformed, big head. And, I'm a huge fan of Monster Squad, the movie, and they never did proper figures. So I kind of borrowed things from the Gillman from Universal Monsters, the Gillman from Monster Squad, and I kind of created my own patterns and tiling, and I came up with this. And to this day, I'll be honest with you guys, I would like to eventually make these figures as well, just because how like Masters of the Universe, remember they did the Motu minis?
Yeah.
And they were like just like miniature figures, minimal articulation, but they look cool, and they catered to a bunch of other audiences, younger audiences. So I could see like little kids wanting to have this Gillman, right? I don't know about the severed arm.
Without the arm.
Mommy and Daddy might not approve of that one, but this was
on the daddy.
This is where it all started. And then when Carlos told me, hey man, if you're gonna go hard, like you're gonna go and make toys, just go all the way. Like don't hold back. Don't try to do things to conform to certain groups or nothing like that. Do it the way you would want it to look. And that's when I kind of did the whole 180 and I just completely just redesigned everything. And safe to say, there's going to be a different look to this guy right here. Not ready to share that to the public eye yet, but but that's definitely something that will eventually, if this thing does as good as we think it may be doing, and then we're eventually going to get to visit a Gillman of some sort,
But you know what, Jorge? Now that you mentioned that, it's a great idea to show those models like that without showing the actual final product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Show it like,
this is like the
Little
concept art that I did. I mean, I don't have the other ones on hand right now, but this one was perfect because it was colored and everything. I think the other ones I didn't get to color; they were just in black and white.
I think you have the vampire also.
Yeah, I just couldn't find it right now on my phone. Let me see.
I think I may have the vampire.
Well, I can tell when you get to the Gillman that it's going to be a fantastic figure because you grabbed my attention when you mentioned Monster Squad. I love the designs in those movies. The Stan Winston Creation Studios did a fantastic job on those.
Yeah,
so
man.
I already know you're going to knock that out of the park.
So, I mean,
Steve
listen,
Wang
the idea behind this was like a lot of thinking, like how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna tackle this. I mean, and we don't want to be repetitive, and the way that you're gonna you're gonna do monsters, but what type of monsters? Like universal monsters. Like we have already universal monsters, we have already vampires. Like, what's the idea behind this? And pretty much what we want to tackle this is like, we don't want, like Jorge always said to everybody, we don't want to invent the wheel because it's already there, right? What we want is to put some nice rims, nice tires, and make it look different. Fill those holes that we may like to have in our toy collection. Like, try to do something a little bit different for the people who actually want something like, okay, I want the ultimate vampire. I want the ultimate creature of this character specifically. And that's why pretty much from the realm is going to be like how we're going to tackle the waves. If it's like a wave where we can talk about it, is pretty much one character, and we're going to give to all the collectors all the options you can have on that specific character and make it your own. You can, like, you know what, I like this style, and you're going to have that style, and create the ultimate one. That's pretty much the goal with this project.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
well, in the horror culture, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of iconic monsters
Mhm.
from cinema that have never been produced in toy form. Um, Particularly, I would say the top two that stand in the back of my mind because they made such a striking impact in my childhood when I watched horror movies was Count Barlow from Salem's Lot, 1979, and um, Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night.
Mm.
Those two vampires. Those are my vampires. Those are vampires I grew up with in the 80s watching, in theaters, and like they scared the shit out of me.
He's still traumatized.
And I can't believe to this day that nobody's made those two figures. You know what I mean? They even did a reboot of Fright Night with Colin Farrell, and they still didn't make figures for that one or the old one. And Salem's Lot, they did a remake of that movie, and there's still no action figures.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to tackle is two things. We're trying to, you know, bring some sort of representation of those iconic looks that have never been done as figures, with, of course, some creative liberties and redesigns, so we don't get into legal issues, right? And um, also some in-house, cool, outside the box kind of looks that people appreciate, people that are into the lore, they'll appreciate. And then, of course, the expansion, where a vampire takes many forms. If we see Bram Stoker's Dracula, Dracula had a total of 4 to 5 forms in that film, right? He had the old man bun, uh, pale old man bun, right? He had the
Mhm.
armored, battle ready Vlad. He had the elegant, night stalking Dracul. The He had a wolf form that was almost like a werewolf, and he had a bat form. So the vampire goes through a lot of different stages. The vampire can turn into different things. So that's what got me thinking, like, how can we represent that where we're just not giving people a guy in a cape and robes, but we're actually kind of showing off the different possibilities of what a vampire's forms can take. So
Okay.
that's why we decided to, start things off with vampires. And we're not naming the figures, we're not giving them specific labels. The first wave is called From the Darkness, and basically it's vampires, but vampires are not the only things that lurk in the darkness, right?
Mhm.
So the way we've built this universe is that we can revisit these realms at a different period in time and deliver a completely different product for you.
Okay.
So while we may be doing vampires this time around, the next time around we could be doing demons, we could be doing poltergeists, we could be doing anything that lurks in the darkness, right? Our plan is, after this, we're going to venture into From the Grave, and that's where we're going to tackle on zombies, ghouls, dragers, like all sorts of undead kind of beings. Because you know the zombies have been done and done and done and done with all the Walking Dead stuff that was done. Of course, McFarlane had a really weird scale, and they had really weird articulation and stuff like that. But there's been a lot of zombies,
Yeah.
default zombies. But there's other vampire, zombies in lore like Dragers. If you're a fan like me, God of War. One of the biggest issues that I've always had as a collector is like, okay, you made an awesome fucking Kratos figure. Okay, cool. You did you did an Atreyu figure for the new game, but where the fuck are the Dragers? Where are the trolls? Where are all these amazing monsters that you fight in the game that would make such awesome action figures, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we can do like Dragers, you know, and then people that are into God of War, they were like, oh shit, I got Dragers now that I could put Kratos fighting, you know? So while we're doing monsters, we're also kind of filling in a lot of gaps in people's collections where it's like, oh shit, I got these kind of creatures now that I can display with this guy. And I got these kind of creatures that I could display with that guy. You know, one of the things that we want to do with this campaign is we want to deliver accessory packs and heads and things like that where you'll be able to kind of build your own definitive vampire, whether it's the long-haired, elegant-looking vampire, or it's more like the bald Nosferatu-looking. You know, you'll pick which head you want and which kind of wardrobe you want, and like we'll have like a wing pack. So if you want to have him with bat wings, you could just buy the wing pack, and it'll plug into the anatomy of the back of the figure, and then that'll have the wings, the articulated wings on it. We're going to have a sarcophagus play set, was like an expansion set. So that's going to have a sarcophagus. You could put the vampire inside, lay him inside his tomb. And then we're also planning on doing an expansion set, which is going to be vampire hunter or hunter slash killer kit. So
Okay.
what we're going to do with that is essentially we're going to give you the weapons to arm your existing figures and turn them into a vampire hunter. So if you want to make your own Van Helsing, if you got a GI Joe classified Recondo or somebody that you want to turn into something else and customize it, we'll weaponize you. We're going to give you, you know, like Victorian style weapons, a crossbow. We're going to give you a musket. We're going to give you wooden stakes, holy water vial, crucifix, and then as a bonus for getting that pack, you're also going to get battle damage parts for your vampires. So you'll have a hand with a crucifix branded on the palm. You'll have a vampire battle damage vampire head where half of his face is melting from being exposed to the sun. You'll have another head where the face is like branded by a crucifix and one of the eyes is melted out because of the burn from getting impacted by the crucifix.
Yeah.
And then all these things are building on to giving you a more premium experience where if you want to have a battle damaged vampire doing battle with your blade figure or whoever you want to designate as a Van Helsing, you'll have that diorama kind of option by getting all the parts and buying, you know, the different tiers that we're going to be offering. If you guys want, you could pull up the IG. You could see a lot of stuff that's there. But I did find another sketch of the Nosferatu vampire. If you want to check that out really quick, just share my screen. So this was this is like
That's
really,
the vampire.
this was really raw, like at the beginning of everything. I want to say this is like maybe like 2.5 years old. And
Okay.
this was kind of the direction I was going when I approached Carlos, and he was like, "Nah, dude, like."
And I messed up everything.
I'm so grateful that Carlos, like, you know, gave me that wake up call because, like, you know, I could have probably ended up making these, but how many people actually buy these little super deformed kind of chibi kind of figures? It's not as big as like Marvel Legends collectors or NECA collectors, you know. And at the end of the day, it's if I could do figures the way I would always envision them, you know, it's just a win-win. But yeah, if you could share the IG now, like you could kind of scroll through there. We have a lot of stuff up there. This right here, I'm so excited about. Everybody that's seen this is like, holy shit, this thing is incredible. This is going to be like our Nosferatu / Count Barlow colorway. So he's gonna have like the pale blues, inspired by the Salem's Lot film.
Yeah.
And our buddy Noah Pratt is doing an amazing job as paint master.
I know Noah. Yeah, yeah. He's a good one.
Hey, you collect Mythic Legions, you know Noah, right?
Oh yeah.
He's kicking ass. He did if you scroll down, you could see the paint master of the younger version of the vampire. Right there.
That one.
And there's better pictures if you go further down. There's
catching hell with my zoom.
there you
right
go.
now.
Right there.
Right there.
That one.
Yeah, I love this.
So that's like what we're planning on doing is going to be like there's going to be two colorways. So the one colorway is going to be what you see here, right? It's going to have the long-haired vampire with soft goods. Obviously those are not done yet, so we're not showing them. And then the other colorway is the head that you just saw. It's going to be more of like a Count Barlow type of vampire with a bald head and the buck teeth and stuff like that. Each figure is going to come with an alternate head. We're not sure yet if it's going to be one or two additional heads, but I did want to offer an alternate expression. While this is a really cool and menacing and intimidating look, I want him to expose a little bit of fang, and have a little more like anger to him. So there's definitely going to be an alternate portrait to this. Same goes for the other head, and then the soft goods and all that stuff. We're also planning on doing a head pack. The head pack will consist of multiple heads of different iterations of vampires. Not ready to share that yet, but if you have an idea of vampire lore and films, you could probably think of a lot of distinctive different looks that vampires have had in history, through cinematic history, and different looks, different hairstyles, different characteristics that we can offer in a head, which can completely change your figure to a different type of character. So that the sarcophagus, I have a couple of concept art pieces that I could show you guys. Let me stop sharing real quick. Present here. Yeah. Here we go. So let me pull this up here.
Blake in the house. What's up, Blake?
Blake, what's up, buddy? All right.
So I do have a question on scale because you'd mentioned the accessory packs and you were naming, certain characters and everything. Are we on like a 1/12 scale side of like closer to Marvel Legends, or are we thinking like fudging it a little bit bigger or anything like that?
No, I don't want to mess with the scales. For example, like McFarlane, we were talking about earlier. I don't want my figures to tower over everybody. I want it to kind of be able to blend in with your Mythic Legions, with your GI Joes, with your Marvel Legends. You know what I mean? So we're gonna try to stay within that like 1/12 scale, closer to like the Hasbro scale Mythic Legions. Some characters may be a little bigger, like what I'm about to show, but the main vampire, we're thinking it's gonna be proportionally scaled, probably around like a Mythic Legions figure is a little bit taller. I think
can be like a Mythic Legions like size, kind of like if you picture the Red Dead.
Yeah,
kind of like
something like that. I would say we're not going to surpass 7 inches in scale.
I think I have one.
Yeah, we don't want to go like McFarlane size. Of course, you're gonna have
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna have like characters.
Oh, that's a cool. That's a cool.
That are gonna be like a little bit like Jorge said, like
is that
taller.
based on the new Nosferatu movie?
So no, actually, this is an unproduced head. This is actually a head cast that I got from Kevin DeLeese years ago. So it's like a half
from Kevin.
Yeah.
That's
Kevin
cool.
is my brother.
That's interesting because it looks like that hairstyle from the new Nosferatu movie.
So I
That's
never
cool.
really did finish painting it. This is actually a cast. It's not a print.
Oh
So
wow.
that's how old it is. I got it whenever he was doing those casted pieces.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
Back in the
that's
days with Masters of the Universe classics, right?
yeah, yeah. That was probably one of his first offerings for Mythic Legions.
Hmm.
Yeah, he
So
started making Mythic Legions back in the days, but before that, I had the Conan the Barbarian.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, that was like actually I was using the Vicron body to make that Conan the Barbarian from back in the days. I mean, Kevin is a good friend. Man, I mean, we talk so much in PowerCon. Uh, I mean, and I'm so happy that he's working with Savage Crucible. I mean, he's making crazy stuff for them. He's
yeah.
such an he's one of my favorite artists in the community. He's such a beast.
Yeah, I got to design a couple of orc skulls back when we did a bunch of stuff with my action figure customs, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I used to work with him under them years ago. So, him and actually, I was the one that convinced him after many, many emails to get involved with my action figure customs because he had he had come out publicly and saying that he was going to stop offering the casts and everything just because the amount of cost that was going to have to go into shipping. And I'm like, dude, you can't stop doing this. Like, you've got to keep going. So I finally convinced him to contact William Robert Post, and he finally did. And now he's like one of his main guys. So
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
him and GD Lake and Matt O'Toole, and I've painted a few of Arlen Pelliter's sculpts and stuff. So yeah, I was like running with that crew for a little while.
oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be happy to see them at Toylanta. Uh, I mean, Matt is such a great guy. Also, I mean, Rob, incredible guy. I still remember I think I was one of the first ones who actually interviewed him back in the days at PowerCon where he was by himself in this little table. And I did the interview with him and I was like, man, this is so crazy. And it looks amazing. And we were talking for hours, man. I remember that. And look at that now. It's like incredible what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
Savage
sure.
Crucible is crushing it, man. It's awesome figures. So, yeah, Dustin, if you want to share the screen. So this here is the control art that I did for the Barlow character that you saw the paint from Noah. This is basically using the ZBrush rendering, and then I just drew the wardrobe on top of it. This is kind of like a style guide for the folks that are doing the soft goods for us.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the direction I want to go, where I want to have like the black slacks and I want to have the ruffled shirt. And then that really, I wanted to do something different because, like vampires are always kind of pigeonholed into having a cape with a collar. I think like the coachman's coat is a very cool looking wardrobe that was not necessarily used by vampires, but I started designing stuff and getting different inspirations from the looks, and I came up with this with a collar, and I fell in love with it, and I think it looks really good. And if it's flowy, the only difference that you don't see here is we're adding sleeves. So the sleeves are actually going to be like more like wide robe kind of sleeves that go up to a little bit. They'll hang past the past the wrist line, right? And it's going to be wired. You're going to have the soft goods pants, soft goods shirt, wired cloak. So this is like the main offering, essentially with alternate heads and alternate hands. We're not sure yet if we're going to include an accessory or two, but this is like one of the main guys. What you're
Okay.
going to get, what you see here. So, what do you guys think of the wardrobe?
I
I
love
like
the
it.
choices. Yeah,
I
no,
love
perfect.
the flowy shirt.
You like it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
wanted to
it's
do
the
something different.
Seinfeld shirt all over again.
Yeah,
It's awesome. No.
Somebody's
No,
like, gimme, 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 gimme.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
give me that. Perfect.
so this one here, show you guys, is this is something I don't know if you guys saw or any of you were at Legion's Con last year. We were there and we had a table and we were displaying the um, the prototypes for the first time there at Legion's Con. And we got a lot of feedback in regards to the wings. So the way we design the wings is essentially it's another pair of arms, shoulders, biceps, forearms. But then when it comes to the tip of the wings, that's where there's that extension and that's where it becomes non-human.
Yeah.
Um, Originally, this was supposed to plug into the anatomy of the original figure, but we came to realize because the figure is so skinny that there was no way that we could get pegs to be able to pop and swap these things with it without it disrupting the inner tooling of the body. So
Hmm.
what we did is we went back and we designed this kind of um, it's an organic kind of hump that comes out. It protrudes from the middle of the top of the back, and it
Okay.
have exposed vertebrae, and then that's where you would plug the wings into. So essentially, our wing pack is going to be this right here, and then this will be like an add-on that you could buy if you want to, and
Okay.
that will just basically give wings to your vampire. Obviously, your vampire will have to be shirtless because we don't want to rip a hole in the soft goods for you to put this on there. But if you want to have that shirtless vampire with his wings out, like battle ready and stuff,
Yeah.
then you'll have the option to buy this piece. Our idea is to see if we can do the webbing to be like a translucent type of plastic, and it's
Okay.
going to have all sorts of like, the veins and the vertebrae running through it. So it's going to look very organic and very like gruesome. Uh,
Okay.
but this is the latest sculpt. This is very different from what people saw at Legion's Con. This is basically the final design for the
For the wings.
wing pack.
Yeah,
Oh,
because the like Jorge said, like when we were talking about the inner uh, function with the actual figure, I mean the figure is gonna come with butterfly joints. So since it's like skinny, like he said, like the butterfly joints were like getting interrupted by the pecs that were going there. So that's why, like I think with Seba Don, which
Mhm.
is the one who's making all the actual engineering of the figure, he recommend better to have like a one peg in the middle and a type of a backpack, kind of like the GI Joe classify. What's the name? The
Recondo? No,
Immortal,
you're talking about
whatever.
the Nemesis Enforcer,
Nemesis Immortal.
Immortal.
So, but that one looks like a backpack. This one is gonna look organic. This one is gonna look like like the wings actually came out of the body. So
okay.
that's pretty much the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So then when we were talking about deluxe, um, we were thinking about how we can offer a deluxe figure that kind of seamlessly blends into this. And like I mentioned earlier, in the Dracula Bram Stoker film, Dracula takes on many forms. So, I was experimenting with some designs and until I finally landed on a style and a look that I really liked, that is something that I don't think anybody's done yet. And that's when I came up with this. If you want to go ahead and share, Dustin. So this is essentially the body that you already saw on the base vampire
Yeah.
with a brand new upper torso, brand new forearms, brand new lower legs and feet, and a brand new head. And then of course you attach the wings to this and you've got like this bat beast deluxe creature.
Yeah.
So standing upright, this thing will probably clock between 8 to 9 inches, maybe taller, to the tip of the ears. We still haven't gotten the final scale done yet, but as we speak right now, this is being worked on, and our plan is to have this on display at Toylanta next month. And
Oh,
we'll have,
nice.
like, it's going to be a static output, but it's going to highlight all the articulation joints, just like we did at Legion's Con last year. But I wanted to do something where you had the bat features, but you still had more like a kind of like a demon type of skull, and like the sunken in cheeks and stuff like that. I wanted it to look very menacing and evil and dark, and so this is what we came up with. So this
Nice.
is 2D concept. Obviously, the final sculpted thing is going to look super badass, much better than this. If you actually go to our IG page, you can see a ZBrush rendering of the head that Eric Sosa is sculpting for this guy, and that looks bonkers. It's just, we can't wait to see the
That one.
finished product. That one
Yeah.
right there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I tried to have a couple of things queued up, and you caught me off guard with that one. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so that right there obviously is very rough. It's not finished in any way, but it gives you an idea of how cool this will look with lighting and effects and stuff like that. And yeah, I can't wait to see the final sculpted model, and just put this whole thing together with the wings, and just look at it towering next to the regular default vampire.
Yeah.
I love everything I'm seeing. And no, I wanted to ask, because you were talking about the wings. That's not the only wing design that I see on your IG here. So tell me about this.
Yeah, so the draped wings is something also that we're planning on offering. As of right now, we're not sure where it's going to land, if it's going to be part of the wing pack, or if maybe we'll make this like an exclusive item
Or
that
expansion
comes,
pack.
right. We're thinking of different ways of offering, like I mentioned before, different looks, right? A lot of people, think about Castlevania when they look at this design.
Mm-hmm.
And, while I can see Castlevania, I also see, what's the name of that elf from Dungeons and Dragons? The, I forget his
like
name.
Dritz or something like
Dritz.
Yeah.
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 He
Dritz.
looks kind of like an elven vampire to me.
Yeah.
that. The hair.
Because,
It's the white hair.
yeah, because a lot of people mention Alucard, but Alucard has much longer hair, like way long, like to the middle of his back long. And that would be kind of a challenge to do as a figure, because it would really, really hinder the range of motion on the head. So,
Yeah.
if we get to that type of style, we would have to look at, a way to make it where I'm not just giving you a head that's going to be statically in a museum pose.
Yeah.
It would have to be something where maybe there's like interchangeable hair pieces that you could mix and match, so you can have like hair flowing to the side kind of thing, like a dynamic kind of hair flow, rather than just the down falling down straight down hair. But but yeah, with the head packs, we have a lot of cool looks planned. Um, we might have one or two that we reveal at the con. Can we get one made of
Rats?
What does he mean by get?
Like, remember, and I think it was like the Dracula from, what was the one with
Gary Oldman.
Oh, like the vampire turned into rats? Like
yeah, remember, that was, which one was that one?
Damn, I can't remember.
That's the one from Bram Stoker.
Was that Bram Stoker? Did he turn into a bunch of rats?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was the one with this guy that uh, the Dracula that he was like an old guy at the beginning.
That one, he turned into rats. I
That
don't
was with
remember.
the white hair. Remember
Yeah.
who was the girl? It was Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Okay, so that in that movie, he transformed into rats
Okay,
Hmm.
like
at one point.
a bunch of rats.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a while. It must be a sequence that.
yeah, he transformed into rats.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty challenging.
I know, I
I could
know.
probably I could
You could
probably
always
offer
do.
you a rat or two that he could.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
afford.
An accessory pack with some rats
Yeah,
or something. Maybe
Yeah.
one of
some
them's an
rats there.
interchangeable foot or something like that. You
Yeah.
could call it the rat pack.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back to that, those wings, the folded wings, like the idea with those folded wings, and that's like we were thinking on like how we're gonna do this, and the idea was pretty much like, hey, you know what? Let's do something like a sleeve that you can pop the head out and just put that there, and it's gonna look amazing, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so not like overcomplicated stuff, you know, and it's gonna look good. But like Jorge said, like we don't know yet if that's gonna be like offering in an expansion pack or it's gonna be part of the deluxe or so. But yeah, I mean, definitely that's one of the options that we have for the Kickstarter, like for sure, 100%, because it looks cool. It
Yeah.
looks really cool, and you can put it on top of the soft goods, so it doesn't matter. It's gonna look amazing.
I love
You know?
this, by the way.
Yeah, I do too. I hope you guys really put those in the campaign somewhere. Even
Oh yeah,
if it's
totally.
stretchable. I
No,
love
definitely. It's just right now we haven't been able to get into the pricing aspect of like because we don't have like final numbers from the factory yet.
Mhm.
But we're hoping that we can offer it as part of the wing pack. But what I've been told is that wing pack is so complex because it has plug-in pieces. It's got a lot of articulation, and it's going to have a lot of paint hits for deco. So, adding that other shrouded kind of cape thing might just bump it over a little bit of a higher price point than we want. So we might just offer that different shrouded cape as like an exclusive with one of the figures or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I want to talk about articulation though. That was my my next post that I pulled up from you because I see some exciting things on this thing. I see an ab crunch, I see a diaphragm articulation point there, and then around the waist, it looks like that whole thing is going to sit maybe on like a ball joint. That's a ton of articulation just in the abdomen alone.
Yeah,
And it's such a great looking design, and I don't see it in a lot of companies. So this is exciting to me.
Yeah.
yeah. Pretty much, he's gonna have like the articulation is gonna have like on the head. We are talking about like a ball joint, like a double peg, like a dumbbell. So the butterflies, of course, you're gonna have the butterfly joints on the shoulders. You're gonna have your regular shoulder up and down. You're gonna have your bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and it's gonna have like the actual ball joint with the wrist articulation is gonna be like swivel and hinge there. And on the torso is gonna be, of course, on the top is gonna be kind of like a ball joint, right?
Mhm.
And then in the middle you're gonna have the hinge. Do you have any of the GI Joe Classified figures? It's pretty similar to what GI Joe Classified is doing.
Okay.
Nothing recent.
Okay, so the articulation in the middle is like a hinge, and on the bottom they have a ball joint. I don't know if I have. Let me see. Jorge, do you have one there?
I'm looking at. I have a Storm Shadow here.
You have a Storm Shadow, maybe. I have a Snake Eyes.
The only thing the Storm Shadow doesn't have, he has the ab crunch, and then he has the ball socket at the waist,
Right.
but he
Let me
doesn't
show you.
have the diaphragm ball joint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I
So
have.
ours is going to be more articulated than this.
Yeah, the way that articulation and the sculpt works together, it's so seamless looking. I'm really excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're super excited. We're actually right now. They're in the process of printing the first articulated prototype of this thing. So we're hoping to have a sample of that at Atlanta as well, and we can't wait to play around with it and pose it and take pictures with it and stuff like that. So
Can
that's
you
super exciting.
can you say who's doing your prototype printing, or they kind of not yet?
As well, right now we're partnered up with David Bonner. He's managing our campaign, so I'm not quite sure who's doing the 3D printing. Um, I did talk to Anthony from Noble Bear about helping us out with the Bat Beast creature. So not sure if that's going to happen with him, but it's a possibility. But as far as the articulated one, I'm not sure who's handling that. But
You
David
say
has a lot of connections in the industry, so
So yeah,
you,
the articulation is gonna be kind of like a combination between these two. Like you see the modern Joes, like Duke, he has the ball joint on the top and ball joint on the bottom. If you see,
right,
you have this type of articulation,
right,
right? So in the middle, we're gonna have combined with this torso that Snake Eye have, which give you more range of articulation, of course, the
Right.
hinge. So we're gonna manage to kind of like do a ball joint on the top and a ball joint on the bottom, and in the middle a hinge.
right, right.
Nice.
Like
Yeah,
that's the like the goal with the
yeah, the
articulation.
design was inspired mostly by like the Marvel Mafex figures.
mhm.
So if you look at the Mafex kind of engineering, that's similar to what we're mimicking. Um, there are some tweaks that we've done, of course, and what I've heard a lot it's from people is that what works really well with this figure, the articulation, is like the anatomy. It's like a skinnier, gaunt looking character. So he's gonna look so creepy when you like hunch him over and you put him in all
Yeah,
these.
kind of like the synthetic human one
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Thousand
yeah.
Toys.
I've got one of those. Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like this.
Nice.
So
yeah.
you're
That
gonna be
thing's
able,
crazy good.
yeah, you're gonna be able to achieve like a lot of good stuff with that one.
Nice.
Not that we're gonna have a vampire in a Spider-Man pose, but
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you want to do it, if you want to do it,
I mean,
Smoke
hey,
him if you got him.
there's that's canon. There's a vampire Spider-Man out there in the Spider-Verse. So I'm just saying.
hey, you can always do a Morbius. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's
No,
like, yeah,
Spider-Man.
y'all keep dropping these names from the community, and I'm like, I know that person, and I know that I know Seba, I know Anthony, everybody that you're talking about that's helping you out with this stuff. It's great. I love seeing that.
yeah, I mean, we're huge Mythic Legions fans, and it's a big family, the Cabal and everything, and we have a lot of awesome collaborators that just happen to love Mythic Legions as well, and they're part of the Cabal and stuff, and yeah, we see ourselves as like a whole big extended family. You know what I mean? We're just in different states, but we all have that passion
Yeah.
for that plastic crack, and we're just like, we're out here making some toys, just finding other ways to make people broke.
Right. Right.
I can't promise this with the
Oh,
vampire, but we're gonna try.
You're gonna fold him like a pretzel.
Man,
Yeah.
this figure is like the most insane thing articulation wise. Like the synthetic human from 1000 Toys is
Mhm.
insanity.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's nuts.
It is. It is.
Uh,
No, our vampire is not gonna be that articulated.
Well,
One thing that I
he's
wanted to
damn
share
near
with you
close.
guys
Yeah.
is that we have a really big raffle, because obviously making toys is not inexpensive in any way, shape, or form. And we're basically doing a really big raffle where we're going to be giving away over $2,000 in collectibles. And I'm just trying to pull up the information here so you guys can see that.
Excuse me.
But we're just trying to raise some seed money for the project before we go live. We're planning on going live. Originally, we were gonna go live um, during Toylanta, but Toylanta is gonna coincide with the Dragon release from Mythic Legions. So
We
we're
don't want
not,
to fight the dragon.
yeah, we're not fighting a dragon.
Right.
So we're gonna skip that. Let the dragon fly back to Mythos, go back to its cave, go dormant, and then we'll come back with some horror goodies for you guys later in the year.
Well, see, now that makes me want to get that dragon and then get one of your figures there and actually take the photo of the two of them doing battle. Just symbolically,
dude. That'll be sick. Having a vampire fighting a dragon. So that's a really cool thing. But yeah, so let me pull up my Facebook page here.
Yeah, I mean, for the guys who are in the chat, we have a Facebook page, Facebook fan group for From the Realm. It's From the Realm. Also, just go there on Facebook. Check From the Realm. We're there. We put like all the updates on the project and everything. And like Jorge said, like we're aiming maybe like middle of the year to like to put the campaign, the Kickstarter, like right there live. So pretty much that's the idea so far. If everything goes smooth, like right now, like crazy stuff happening right now with all the tariffs and stuff like that with China and all the stuff. So we need to kind of like figure it out the best way to go, but so far that's where we're aiming right now. But like Jorge said, we have a big raffle. I don't know if you want to pull it there. You got it, Jorge?
Yeah. I'm gonna pull up as a I'm trying to pull it up where I can scroll through the page. I'm trying to figure that out really quick. Hold on.
Yeah, I just found you guys on Facebook today, so I joined that group. I'm like, oh yeah,
Thank you.
My
Thanks, man.
Facebook's been acting up. So like the first time I tried, everything was just blank. I couldn't find anything. I'm going, oh, what? So it was like a few hours ago or whatever. It finally cleared up. So I was like, I found you guys. I'm like, yes,
so yeah. So yeah, we have the Instagram page, which Jorge is the one, managing the Instagram, and we have the Facebook also for people more to interact with us and stuff like that. And like Jorge said, we have a raffle to kind of like get some money, seed money for the project. We have crazy amount of collectibles there. We actually have in the raffle, we're gonna have one of the prototypes, the static ones that we took to Legion's Con. So that's gonna be like a history piece there for From the Realm. So yeah, that's gonna be part of the raffle too, and some of our collectibles or personal collection and stuff like that. So yeah, so if people want to check that out, like just go and take a look. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, we have a breakdown of all the prizes. I believe it's 25 items in all, and amongst them there's some really nice pieces. We got the original Metacom Mayfax Venom. We got the Daredevil from Mayfax, the Venom, the new Venom that came out. We're even doing the Serpentor with a Chariot, which is a very sought after piece right now. Yeah. And we're doing a 1/6 scale Magneto from Mondo.
Nice.
Also, if you look at the top corner on the left, those are two customs that I made of Mumra and Panthro, made out of Mythic Legions figures. So nice. I'm going to be offering those up for the raffle as well. And it's not expensive to participate, $5 a spot, unlimited spots. We're hoping to get at least 500 spots filled because we have a lot of prizes to give away. And it's going to happen next Friday. We're going to
Okay.
do a live stream, and we're going to spin the wheel, and we're going to get some winners. So, yeah, this is going to really help us out a lot. It's expensive to make toys, guys. Really expensive. I mean, Carlos and I we're partners in this venture, and our buddy Eric, he's pretty much providing the creative at no cost. But like Carlos and I are the ones that are like kind of taking the brunt of the expenses, and we've had to pay, for prototyping, for 3D printing, and we've spent a pretty penny already, and there's still a lot more stuff to do, and we have to spend that money before we launch a campaign because we have to have certain things ready,
Done.
sizzle reel, video, all this stuff. So
Right.
that's why we're hoping to raise some money so that we can throw that at the campaign, and it's going to be a lot more smooth sailing in terms of the campaign. We'll be able to unlock things a lot quicker and just be an overall like more positive process for us, especially it's our first time around doing this kind of stuff. But we've talked to a
Yeah.
lot of people that have had successful campaigns, and they've given us a lot of feedback. We got the guys from Meta Travelers, the Four Horsemen themselves,
Spiro Toys also, AWOC.
AWOC. Jason from AWOC actually designed our logo. Like I gave him a sketch of what I wanted, and he came up with what you guys see today as the From the Realm logo. And we
Nice.
just had a lot of awesome collaborators. We're still working on the packaging. My idea for packaging is going to be window box, kind of like what you see with NECA figures nowadays. But I want the box to look like an ancient leather-bound tome. So it's going to be like every package is going to be like a book that you
Oh,
can
that's cool.
put them on your bookshelf, and you can see the spine art. It's going to say Volume 1 from the Darkness. And when you pick it up, I want you to have to take a second look and be like, oh shit, I can't believe this is cardboard. Like I want it to look like it's leather and it's weathered, and
Yeah.
so then when you open it, obviously the figure will be represented there behind the plastic, and then probably like some really nice imagery on the inside insert. I'm thinking like something like a classic painting, like when you would go to like an ancient mansion, you would see like these classic painted creepy portraits,
Yeah.
something along those lines of whatever characters in the package. So that's kind of like the idea we have for the packaging, and we'll probably have something conceptual to show for sure during the Kickstarter, and maybe something at Toylanta. We're still working on it.
Okay.
Cool. So tell us a little bit more about the raffle there. Is that going to be held live on Facebook in your group?
It's going to be live. I think we're going to do it on YouTube
Okay.
with our partner Mega J Retro, and we're going to spin the wheel. And it all depends on how many entries we get. That's why we're trying to promote, because in order to give away so many prizes, we have to have enough entries. So we have over $2,000 in prizes. So it's just like, it's a no-brainer. It's $5. I remember like 2 years ago, I did a mega raffle. I bought 5 spots, and I ended up with like $500 worth of merchandise. And it was I got like a Motu Classics Battle Cat, brand new in the box, and
Nice.
some other very sought after Masters of the Universe Classics figures. And it was a raffle, so it's like you never know. Obviously, your odds are more in your favor the more spots you buy, but you could buy a 5 spot, like one spot, and you could win a big ass prize.
Yeah.
It's always
You never know.
yeah.
So here's a question for you. One of our viewers doesn't have Facebook. He's asking, is there a way to enter without Facebook?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go to our Instagram page. We have all the details on the raffle there, including where to send the funds and everything. So you don't have to have Facebook. You don't have to tune in. We'll be contacting the winners after the raffle is done. So
That was
yeah.
going to be my next question. Actually, do
That-
you have to be there present?
No,
When
no.
okay,
Yeah, because
No,
I don't know
once-
if you saw the recent Mezco giveaway. They were like, "Yeah, you have to be present," and it's just like, "Oh, geez."
no.
No.
Once the winner is
No.
claimed, that's
You have your
recorded.
number, and your number is claimed, so that's it.
Yeah.
okay. Next question is, what channel on YouTube should we tune into to participate and watch this?
It's gonna be at Mega J Retro,
And
and
it'll
I
be
think we're
badass
gonna
reviews as
we're gonna
well.
also on my channel too, right?
Mhm.
The Badass Reviews.
Yeah, I might go on mine too, Toy Addict, but I don't get a lot of traction on that YouTube. I don't post a lot there, so we might just do badass reviews and Mega J.
And Mega J.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. If you could give us the links to those, and we'll add them into the description for the video.
100%.
yeah. I'll send you
Send
the
them the
link
link.
to Facebook, and then as far as if you go to Instagram and you go to from_the realm, you will in the stories there's an actual clickable link that'll take you to the Facebook page for more details, but everything is posted on the post as well. So if you just read through everything, all the prices are there. The PayPal information is there. Everything is there. Let me see.
Okay,
I
cool.
posted. Oh, I posted.
And I think on my Instagram, the Badass Reviews, I have also the link to my YouTube channel.
There you go.
So
I posted on the private chat, so you might have to copy it over to your regular chat.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be live next Friday, 8 p.m. So we're going to spin the wheel. The wheel's going to determine the prize, and then we'll spin the wheel again to determine the winner.
let me
And
send you
we'll do
I'm gonna send you my channel also in the private chat.
Okay.
The plan
Really
is to, hopefully get at least 500 participants, 500 spots, so we can give away all this stuff.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing is we're giving away one of our prototypes. That's like
Yeah.
one of our early prototypes, and it's just, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but just based on the feedback that Carlos and I have had, and the things that we have planned, the things we had discussed, I feel like this campaign is going to be successful, and this is going to be like a hot new line, and anybody that has this prototype will be like bragging rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everything looks great that you've shared with us tonight.
Thanks,
the
appreciate it.
sculpting, the paint work, the soft goods prototyping that you've talked about. I love it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to
And,
see our partner Eric, unfortunately he's super, super busy, but we are super, grateful for his collaboration. If you want to pull up Eric Sosa's Instagram page, you could see some examples of this guy's art, and it's just.
Oh yeah, Eric is a beast.
I've known Eric for like over 20 years, and he worked on Kotobukiya for a very long time, doing all the Marvel statues and stuff. He's done a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Oh, I think I might
You
have been
type
wrong.
in. I'll write it here in the private chat.
Hang on.
Eric Sosa. Just look him up on IG. Let me see if I can pull
grab
him up.
that from you real quick. Oop. Man, my computer is really not cooperating with me right now. Give me just a second. Oh, nope.
Let me see if I can pull him up.
Is it Eric Sosa Art?
Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. All right. think I got it. Let me come back in here and bring it back up. There we go. Oop.
Yep.
Come on, work with me, Zoom. Okay.
Yeah, so check out his
follow right now.
that Dimitri is a super old sculpt of his, but he was posted. It was like a throwback. Look at that Frankenstein that he did.
Oh yeah, that is awesome.
Sick.
Awesome.
Gives me that like dark stalkers vibe.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like
He's
cybernetic.
beefy.
Yeah, super cool. And then if you look at the rest of his stuff, he's done a lot of awesome DC. Look at that Omega Red.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
that definitely drew my eye. I was
Look at
like,
Mr.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now he's done some incredible stuff. And like when you see his look at that Daredevil.
Oh, so good.
He's actually working right now. He's working for Disney. He's designing creatures for the Avatar sequels.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Like this guy is super busy but he loves monsters and he believes in in my vision and what I had planned, and he was like, I'm all in. So, I'm super, super excited to have him on board. And of course, Seva Dam, amazing. He's done like some amazing action figures. His engineering and stuff like that is fantastic. So
I've
we
painted
got a
multiple
solid team.
heads
We
that
got
he's
Noah doing
produced.
apps, like we just got a lot of awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
We got like a super team, set up to deliver these action figures, and we have a lot of crazy stuff planned, going beyond this Kickstarter. So what kind of other monsters would you guys like to see aside from vampires?
I don't see a lot of people, and when I do see this, it's not done very well, so to speak. And it's a real shame because there's a lot of great creatures out there in the cryptid world that just, I think, really deserve justice in figure form. And there's been a couple of companies that's tried to do it, and some of them, I mean, the articulation's really kind of dated at this point, but the sculpts are still pretty solid. But as far as something like what you have here with your vampire prototype, like it's on a whole other spectrum here. I mean, I think cryptids would be really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, like there's so many things that we can do. Like I mentioned, each universe is going to be a realm. So, we're going to be doing from the grave. We'll be doing from the forest. We'll be doing from the deep. From the lab. That's where we'll, do our iteration on Frankenstein and stuff like that. So,
from the deep, is that going to maybe be
like a Gilman?
Oh well, okay, yeah, that's fair. What about Cthulhu and things like that?
So let me ask you about Cthulhu. Should Cthulhu be like an oversized type of rotocast figure, or would you prefer him to be more like a Build-A-Figure where it's like a massive, maybe 12-inch tall figure, but you build it by parts? Or would you want to think about the fact that, a standalone figure that scale would definitely run above $100, right?
Yeah.
So how would you like a Cthulhu figure approached in an action figure? Because obviously you can't make Cthulhu in the scale of a standard human. Cthulhu is like this menacing almost god creature, right?
Right.
So how do you envision a scale, proper scale, and a proper delivery for a Cthulhu figure?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I leave that up to you.
That is a
But
tough one.
it is.
Um,
I know people that have tried to do stuff, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think anything could do it quite justice.
Bendy wire tentacles.
Right.
I would be happy with like something like the troll scale here from Mythic Legions, because
Okay.
those are rotocast, but they also
Yeah.
have working joints and they move pretty well. From the waist up. There's not much
Mhm.
from the waist down. It's just hips, and then they've got like some ball joints in the ankles to help them move. But I mean, you don't really need something that big to get into too dynamic of a pose. But
Right. Yeah.
Plus, you can always
something
use the
that size.
tentacles.
Yeah. The tentacles, bendy wire.
Yeah.
Bendy wire tentacles.
Yeah, possibly.
Any light
I
up
can see
features?
that.
Light up features.
The bendy wire thing is, I think personally it's neat, but what's it going to look like over time? Because I've got a headless horseman from McFarlane from the box set where he came with the
Mhm.
horse,
Mhm.
and he just it crumbled. It just again back to the dry rotting thing.
Yeah.
It's almost inevitable with stuff like that, given enough time.
So
So
articulated tentacles instead.
maybe maybe not like fully articulated. Like, I'm not a big articulation junkie. Like, you don't have to put in like 1,000 points of articulation per tentacle to make it do whatever pose you want, but maybe in clusters, have one or two that can move around like on a ball joint or something, or it's at
I
just the
think they did
base
that
of it.
with something from the D&D, the chest.
Oh,
Didn't
the
they do
chest
something
that has
like
the
that?
teeth and stuff.
So
What was that?
The chest that has teeth.
Yeah.
The tongue and teeth.
Yeah.
So like what I mean is like and this, I'm sorry, I'm going to show a custom here, but
No, that's fine.
the articulation point for the tails, like
Mhm.
you can get some posing out of it just from that single point of articulation. So
Right.
Yeah.
it just depends on how, like, if they're in a cluster like that and you can move them all around, it would give the appearance of fully articulated tentacles.
Yeah, bendy wire is a really it's a gamble because it's a give and take, especially me, because I'm a freak of how the figure is gonna stay intact in time, right?
Right.
Like that's one of the main reasons, because I hate like seamless bodies. I don't like most of the Hot Toys figures like Hulk, Thanos.
Yeah.
Those figures, they crack with time. No matter how much careful you are, like how careful you are with those, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I have the Mezco Keaton Batman, and that's a disaster.
Right.
That's a disaster.
Yeah, and I when that came out and people were complaining about it when they got it in hand, and then I saw they were rubbing like Armor All and stuff on it. I'm going, oh, that's the worst thing you could possibly do.
And the problem is with bendy wire material is rubber, right? So rubber material, the more you touch it, the more like it's gonna deteriorate. Like it doesn't matter how. Like it's gonna get that gummy type of like feeling.
Yeah.
It's gonna get kind of like, if you have paint over that, it's gonna get matte color. The glossiness of the paint is gonna go away with time, and it's gonna change the total vibe of the figure with time. That's why I'm so skeptical about bendy wires.
Yeah.
Rubber materials on action figures is really, really, I mean, very few figures that I have in my collection, I will say they stay the way they were.
Yeah.
But most of the actual rubber material and stuff like that, I mean, they get messed up.
I think it
Just,
has a lot to do with the environment too. Like if you're in a warm and humid environment, it tends to rot and deteriorate quicker. Whereas probably in cooler places, it'll last longer. You know.
I'm in the swamp, so
Yeah.
I know all about it.
Yeah.
I've had figures that like modern Hasbro stuff. The plasticizers just leach out of the plastic over time because of the climate that I'm in, and there's nothing you can do to scrub that stuff off. It's forever going to be sticky.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and not just like, I'm gonna put you an example. Like, and this is, we're talking about a company that has all the experience in the world, and they're being forever Hasbro. Like, if you take that Venom figure that Jorge has in the package right there, that Venom figure, I have mine open, and I already opened 3 of them. It has the stickiness on the paint. And I mean, we're talking about a figure that is made by Hasbro, right? That has they have all the experience in the world, and you still have problems. I remember back in the days, DC Classics. I don't know if you remember DC Classics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The material, oh my God, used to get so bad. Also, some of the Masters of the Universe classics, the Motu classics. I don't know if you remember. Some of them get messed up. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not too fan of Storm collectible figures.
Okay.
Because I don't know how Storm collectibles is gonna last. Like, I'm always scared about. I have some of them.
Yeah.
Just because I love the characters. But I'm not a fan of that rubber material because I don't know. I have the feeling something is going to happen to them.
Right.
Yeah. Deterioration over time.
Yeah. I mean, you have figures like 1,000 Toys, the Hellboy that I have from 1,000 Toys.
Mm-hmm.
The whole upper torso is rubbery, and he has like a skeleton, like inner skeleton, right? So far, the figure is impeccable. Nothing happened, but I don't touch that figure that much.
Yeah, but like, how long have you had that? 2 years, you know?
No, that figure is being with me like maybe like 4 years.
Really?
4 or 5 years.
I would think like that kind of stuff starts happening when you're like past a decade, you know? Like 10 years plus, you know?
But I'm not going to die now.
No. So noted, no bendy wires. All right, but
not a fan of the bendy wire.
The scale, so, like the troll scale, like that's a good scale. Yeah, that'll work.
Troll scale is perfect. I think.
How much were those trolls originally?
120.
120.
Retail, yeah, probably.
They haven't done a troll in like a year or so, right?
Yeah, they're like
they're not planning on doing any more anytime soon either. So it's according to Jeremy Gerard, that's what he's saying. Because somebody asked on one of his shows, "Hey, is there any more trolls coming anytime soon?" And he said, "No."
Right.
They're focusing on new things.
Yeah. I've been waiting for them to do. Well, Cornboy mentioned this a while back. They were supposed to do like these kind of like saddles for the trolls, where you could have like goblins on them and stuff like that. But I don't know what happened with that. They were gonna do that. It was gonna be like an expansion pack.
I know Curtis did a custom elephant with all the stuff. Oh man, you saw that? That was crazy. I told Curtis, I was like, "Listen, dude, this is insane." But
I've seen a couple of people do the custom saddle,
the saddles
pack things.
Yeah,
it's all been customs.
They did on the not on the actual trolls, but on the giant ones, I think, right?
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
a saddle.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, I mean,
ogre scale.
I'm looking right now at the trolls, not the trolls. Yeah, the trolls that I have from McFarlane, the Warhammer ones, and they're big ass figures, right? And they have a decent articulation for, I mean, for the price and the size and everything. And I mean, those are what, like $20 something, $29 or so, pretty much. So
Yeah.
making a figure double the size of that with that type of articulation, I mean, it's not bad, to be honest with you. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a troll articulation, a little bit. I think a little bit better than the trolls, than the Mythic Legions trolls, but still, it's not like super complicated.
Yeah, I think I would definitely probably approach a rotocast because a
Yeah, let me bring
figure
one.
that scale made out of PVC and ABS plastic, it
Oh
would
yeah.
be like $200. You
Yeah.
know?
Have you messed with one of the trolls before? From
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Legions? So
I got the ice troll and I got the cave troll.
So I've actually pulled a couple of these apart for customs and everything, and the way the joints are is it's that harder type of plastic that is the joint, and it's just a plug-in into that rotocast form. So I get asked every now and then on Facebook hey, who's the guy that had the pictures of the troll pulled apart? I got to know how these things are put together. So I'll have to dig the photos back out. Go, all right, here.
So yeah, I mean, this type of articulation is not bad, to be honest with you. But for a big guy, like let me see. Let me take these things apart. Like he has like a swivel here, right? And you have a single joint here. Look, even with the piston, I mean, I'm really surprised on the price of these figures. Look at the piston there.
Oh,
how
yeah.
it works.
Wow. Yeah.
It works really good. See?
Yeah.
And you have also
Oh wow, that's cool.
and rotation also. And you have, look at the pistons here. You have also
Oh, that's crazy.
and a ball joint on the bottom and a toe hinge. And he can split with all the mechanism here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane. To me, insane. And I paid maybe like $14 for this thing at BBTS.
What?
And look at the size.
Crazy.
Damn. Yeah.
It's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He looks like a solid figure too.
It is. It's heavy, super heavy, super heavy.
Super heavy that you can knock someone out. Home
Oh,
defense.
totally. This is a weapon, man. Look at this.
Right?
That's cool. Yeah, so it's definitely something to think about. I would probably take the rotocast route because I agree with you guys. I think I would like to, a Cthulhu should be like a troll scale. Like it should be like a big fucking monster, you know?
Yeah.
And as far as the tentacles, I like the idea of the individual joints and different shaped tentacles.
Yeah.
You know, it's food for thought. It's something that, eventually we could tackle. It's a big boy, though. We got to see how the campaign goes. You know, if we unlock the vampire beast creature, there's a lot of other goodies that can come. Like I have something designed that I'm hoping we can reveal later this year. I already have ideas for like secret drops and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, man, it's really exciting.
We may have some exclusive also, like conventions exclusive.
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
So that we have some cool stuff in plans. So yeah, if the campaign goes well, with the help of everybody, of course, the community, and so far we're having such a great support from the community.
Yeah.
which we're blessed, to be honest with you. I mean, like Jorge mentioned, like Jason and all his team from AWOC, Meta Travelers, Marco and Jeremy from Meta Travelers. Um, I mean, we have four horsemen, Jeremy Girard. I mean, Jeremy was talking to us like maybe like for 30, 35 minutes in the booth right there in Legion's Con. I mean, we were talking also with them at the studio when we went to intern for a day.
Yeah, we talked to Treadway. Eric Treadway gave us.
Yeah, Eric stays with Jorge maybe like for an hour talking in private there. We were talking to everybody there. Everybody's like, hey, let's go, guys. Let's do this. I mean, so far, I mean, we're having a good support. Like so. I mean, we're blessed, to be honest with you, and we're gonna tackle this hard, and we have big hopes that we're gonna get funded and we're gonna do crazy stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
what you got, like I said, it looks absolutely great, and I'm really looking forward to the campaign.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah, we can't wait to launch, but we got to make sure everything is right. Right now, I'm thinking it's going to be sometime in May, most likely, because that's kind of like peak time to do Kickstarters. I've been doing research and stuff like that, and also we're planning on attending Monsterpalooza, which actually happens at the end of May. So we might actually launch that week of Monsterpalooza.
Yeah.
We're not dead set on a date yet, but that's most likely I think would be the smartest thing, because since both Carlos and I are planning to attend, we can, have the closest to final prototypes there for people to see them at the show. It's a monster show. It's not a toy show. So it's going to be more like we're going to be exposing horror fans to like this whole new IP of horror.
Right.
And, it's just opening up that realm of possibilities for different types of consumers. People that buy horror masks, people that like horror movies that are like, oh shit, these look crazy. Let's go on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monsterpalooza I think is going to be the perfect gateway for that.
For sure.
Well, that's
I
awesome.
dig it.
Well, tell us where else can we find you guys? What's coming up for you in the immediate future besides the planning for this campaign?
Well, for me, it's all in right now on this. Obviously I run the Thundercats Classics page on IG. I'm a huge Thundercats fan. Love the IP, love the cartoon. It's my all-time favorite animated series. And Toy Addict 26, it's kind of like where it all started. That's where I met Carlos. He used to be my my subscriber before my channel got axed. But Toy Addict 26, Thundercats Classics, and of course from _ the realm. That's where all the craziness is happening right now behind the scenes.
Good times.
Well, me, the same thing. We're working hard on the project from the realm. Go to the Facebook group, go to the Instagram. Also, if you want to find me, go to the Badass Reviews on IG, on Instagram. I have toy news, toy photography, all the time. That's pretty much my passion, action figures and stuff like with everybody here likes. And also my YouTube channel, the Badass Reviews. I just do like toy reviews and stuff like that, mainly like whatever I like. So a lot of Warhammer figures and stuff. But yeah, I mean, so far I've been like super thankful and blessed that I have some companies that I do reviews for them. Like actually Joy Toy, Mythic Legions. I did some reviews for them also. Savage Crucible also, you name it. Frazetta Girls, Sarah Frazetta, very good friend, fellow Floridian also. But yeah, I mean, so far, if you want to go to the YouTube channel, the Badass Reviews, for some toy reviews, toy hunting and stuff like that also. So yeah, and from the realm. Right now we're from the realm.
Yeah.
So every
go
Thursday,
check us out.
Toy Addicts Anonymous live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thursdays we have Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have Toy Addicts Anonymous and my channel, The Badass Reviews. We're always there talking about toys, toy news, and stuff like that. Most of the time, me, Jorge. Sometimes we have a Mega J Retro, Articulated Times, Steve Mang, a lot of people there. I think next show we're gonna have Toy Bro, correct?
Toy Bro. Yeah.
Toy Bro is gonna be with us in the next show. So yeah, interviews, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, whenever you guys want to drop on by,
More than welcome.
The more the merrier.
Awesome.
It's
More than welcome.
With the kids situation, it's probably time prohibitive, but we try to record at 8, and we go probably about to like 10:30, so it's kind of like our cutting time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's dangerous to invite me on your show. I talk and talk and talk and talk.
No, man. I mean,
Like,
that's what we need.
Hey.
No. That's what we need. Like, actually, we like to have people in our show, like, to talk about like different topics and stuff, because everybody's different, right? Like,
yeah,
like just like us. Like Jorge is collecting more like Thundercats and stuff like that. That's his passion. 1/6 scale, Super 7. I'm more into the Warhammer. Some of like Mythic Legions, some of other stuff too. But yeah, I mean, everybody has their own taste, and there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, that's the more rich the conversation, and it makes everything more interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm
right.
definitely going to try to check you guys out. So I'm always looking for something to watch.
Awesome.
Well, thanks
All
again
right.
for coming on.
Yeah.
I really want to get you guys back on closer to Kickstarter, or even after you launch.
For sure.
Just kind of
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Be a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
I'm really looking forward to it. Really.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dustin, do you got anything else to add?
Yeah,
before
we
close?
do. So obviously this was From the Realm. We have a show coming up this Friday, and that is we're watching Boy Kills World and Slaughter House. And then on Monday, we're going to be interviewing the Nameless Toy Company, Space Zombies from Mars. And the Monday after that, we'll be interviewing Ramen Toy.
Nice.
So
Ace is super cool.
A lot of cool things coming up. Just hang with us and enjoy the ride. Until next time, Thundernerds ho!
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.